It's another episode of the Granny Panty Podcast. I'm your host, RubyLynne. Before I get started and introduce our amazing guest today, I want you to hit the subscribe button. Also hit that thumbs up because I definitely appreciate it. Today's guest, I had the pleasure of meeting at Exotica, New Jersey in October of 2021. I was in a booth across from her, and her personality and her spunk just drew me in as somebody I needed to know. She is an author, podcaster, sexologist, and a swing lifestyle coach. Welcome, Coralyn Jewel. Hello,
Thank
Coralyn.
you for having me, honey. How are you?
I am good. I am good. You have been so busy lately.
I am so busy. I'm so busy. Like even today, I was just like saying to myself, like I've got to get help. I need help.
Yeah, and I mean, when do you take time for you is what I wonder. You have so many irons in the fire.
No time for me right now. Not yet.
You're
Nah.
building your empire still.
Yeah, right now I'm dealing with my latest project is all the different platforms, all the different tube sites.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they all have my videos, but I never put them up there. You know how that goes. So
Oh, yes.
you have to take ownership of your content. And so that means you have to create your own studio and your own page. Got it? And
Yep.
they now all want you to have every single platform has a different release form. So even though you have
Right.
a release form for one platform, now this one wants this form and this one wants this form. And so I was now dealing with all the forms and getting people to resubmit the forms. And oh, Lord Almighty.
Who uploaded those videos to those tube sites? Was it stolen content?
No, I mean some of it maybe, but no, mostly it looks like content that when I shoot content with somebody, even if they own the rights and I don't. So what'll
Yes.
happen is if they upload it, okay, and then somebody types in Coralyn Jewel, that comes up, but it doesn't show ownership to a studio. So now it'll be able to tie it into my studio.
Oh, nice. That sounds
Yeah,
like a huge project.
it's a huge project. So if any of your listeners are good at technology and media, see, TikTok just took me off. I just lost my TikTok account.
Oh, no.
Because, if I was a wrestler, right?
Right?
Or a singer, and I was doing a video that just said, come see my OnlyFans, it'd be no problem. But because I'm an adult performer,
Right.
they took it off. But there was no nudity or anything in it. It's not fair.
Yeah. I lost my TikTok in May. Actually, while I was at XBiz Miami, I uploaded a video and went to see how it was doing, and boom, my account was gone.
And then they never write you back, right? Because I wrote them.
They
They
never
never wrote
got,
me.
they never reinstated it. But I mean, I have to admit, I had a lot of violations before that because it's finding out what you can get away with on there. It's so frustrating because they don't make it very clear.
Yeah, that's true. Because I did have two violations, but one of them was like I tried to, there's no ways to fight it because it was
Right.
teaching the girl who's playing me in my documentary how to climb a stripper pole. That's it.
Yeah.
We were both closed. So,
Right. It
oh
is. Social
well.
media is so
Bye,
frustrating.
TikTok. Y'all ain't gonna be around for long anyway, so.
Maybe not. Maybe
Oh
not.
well.
So
You
do
know,
tell me, besides the creating your studio, what else have you been busy with?
oh gosh, let's see. I've got my documentary. We're editing my documentary, so we wrote my book. So here's my book. Okay. So now
Awesome.
so when the ice melts, the story of Coralyn Jewel. So now
Love
we're
that.
doing the documentary on that. Shooting content,
Mhm.
seminars, webinars, writing for different like sites like Dating Kinky and Kink Queens and Kink
Wow.
Lee. I know. I can't even keep track. Honest to God.
Right. Right. And are you still involved? Let's talk about the local swing community. Tell me about if you're still involved with that.
Yeah, so I started my swinger community in 2012. And so now I have about 20,000 members, and not all of them are active members. Some pay their monthly fees because they're still coming to the events. Others
Right.
were on the page, haven't taken down their profiles or whatever. But we do like hotel takeovers. We'll do like
Mhm.
nightclub takeovers, and then we'll do like free meet and greets. And I'm one
Okay.
of the few clubs that I allow couples, single males and single females. Cost is the same for everybody.
Wow.
And they all go through a screening with me. And if they're brand
Mhm.
new to an event, my door guys call me over there to come and, kind of go over the rules and stuff with them. So
Awesome.
we just
And
had a
did
party
you ever
last week.
have an actual club, a swing club?
I did. Yes. Well, I had in 2009, no wait, 2012 is how it all started. Was somebody, I was a dancer at a club, and the owner of the club said to me, the man that owns this building would like to interview you about doing a swingers event here. And I said,
Wow.
well, I don't, I mean, my husband and I dabbled in it when I was married, but I don't
Yeah.
really know how to run a swingers event. And he says, well, he's going to give you like $50,000 if you pull it off. And I said, I can pull it off.
I
So,
can pull it off.
so that's how it all started. And so we ended up renting. I did two events, at different locations, and he was like,
Hmm.
"Okay, now we're gonna find you a place." So we rented a mansion, about 20 minutes from my house. I moved out of my home, moved my children, moved into a 10,000 square foot mansion. It was a
Wow.
drug home. And we had like 6 weeks to get it up and ready, running. And so we lived
Wow.
there for 8 months, and I would run events. Like Friday night would be I would do like, a girls' night or a meet and greet or a photo shoot or whatever. And then
Right.
Saturday night was the big party. And then some people that used to have some meet and greets in my area, not even a club, just meet and greets, okay,
Hmm.
decided to drop an anonymous flyer off to the cops and say that I was selling sex alcohol. So lost that. Couldn't come back here because I rented this out for 2 years to tenants. So had to go find another
God.
place, and then had a community who was wondering where my next party was going to be. So
Wow. So it's really evolved then.
yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. You're on top of like my adult career with being on all these different social medias and platforms and uploading
Hmm.
content and doing your social media posts. I now also have the swinger stuff that I'm doing. So I got to log into the swinger websites. I've got to approve the members. I've got to organize the staff and the events, and what all my venues closed down during COVID. So
Right.
it's been a big start over. My hotels are boarded up. A lot of the strip clubs
Hmm.
are gone. But we just did an event last weekend, and
Okay.
but it's a lot of work. And I'm a
It
wedding planner
is
too.
a wedding planner.
Uh-huh. 5 years.
I like, did I hear that right? Holy
Yeah,
cow.
I do weddings too. So it's crazy.
Well, your energy, and your spunk and your positivity is what really drew me to you when I met you in 2021.
That's
And
crazy.
you just have, I mean, you hustle it. You really hustle it, and bring it all together.
Yeah.
Um, where do you see like 2023? Where are you going to focus? The studio?
So that's a really good question. So I mean I've kind of pulled away from the weddings. It's not that I'm very good at my wedding. I'm very good at events. I'm very good at running them. Um
Hmm.
I don't do very well with brides. So
I don't know who does. Who
right,
does a bride?
yeah, I don't do well with I'm not. So anybody that like they think that I'm an adult performer, oh, I'm into like materialistic things and stuff like that. And the fact of the matter
Mhm.
is, like, I'm not. Like when I'm like not out and like dressed up, I am like comfy in my onesie, and like that's how I am. Um I just, with the brides, I just don't click on on a
Right.
level with them. So I'm putting a lot of focus on my podcast. We're really putting effort on my podcast, a new studio. You were a guest last, you're going to be my
Yes.
guest January. When do you release? January 12th, right?
Nice.
Whatever the Monday is. And then 9th, right? It's the 9th, yeah, because it will be the AVNs. That's right.
Yes.
And then, yeah, focus on the studios. I've got a manager now
Mhm.
that's helping me with my
Okay,
studios.
good.
So he's helping me understand some of the platforms like Reddit. I don't understand Reddit. Um,
Ugh,
I mean,
that's a
there's so
tough
many. There's
one.
Reddit, there's Twitter, there's Snapchat, there's Instagram, there's
Mhm.
what's that one called? Discord, and then there's what's it called?
Telegram.
Yeah, I can't, you guys, I just can't. Oh my god.
It can be all consuming. I know for me recently, like I run our business, my business all by myself. And it's like, where do you focus your time in? And what I tend to forget to do is film content.
Yes,
And then,
yes,
I had this great idea to start a podcast, which I love. It's like
yes,
I could spend every single day working on the podcast and talking to people. And it's
yeah.
like, oh crap,
I
I
have so many
literally
content.
haven't filmed content in like 6 weeks.
So that's the thing. So right now, the podcast doesn't make money, okay? But I mean, I love my podcast. I love interviewing people, but
Mhm.
what makes money? You're going to film into content, okay?
Yep.
And webcamming, okay?
Yep.
Um and then my documentary is not making money yet, but I've got to get that edited. My second book is almost done, but I don't have time to sit down and just like, now get it into editing and stuff.
Right.
Um
Right.
and then I write articles that does pay. Some of them pay, some of them don't. My
Mhm.
seminars, when I travel and I teach, those don't
Mhm.
pay, but when I teach people like online, when I coach clients, those do
Right.
pay. So you have to figure out like, where do I go? But I need to be able to make the money. And then I realized like I have no content.
Well, and what I imagine you feel the same way. For me, like webcam is like half my income, and
Yeah.
so but when you're in front of a webcam, you can't do anything else. You can't respond to social media. You cannot work anything else when you're on cam.
Yeah, you can't be on your
So
phone or anything because that's like that's the
no,
worst. And like just today, for an example, let's see, I started my morning at 6 a.m. and it is 6 p.m. I've only got 3 videos uploaded to this new platform because it
yeah,
takes that long to upload, and then they want the new paperwork, so you have to print the
right,
paperwork, handwrite it, scan it in, send it back, add the IDs, wait for the upload. I'm like, oh my God,
right,
each
right.
person.
It's very time consuming.
Yeah, so if anybody's
Tell
listening, you're
me,
gonna see a lot of solo content on my stuff.
I know, right?
Yeah,
So tell
yeah.
me about your webcamming. How long have you been doing webcamming?
So webcamming started. So it was very interesting when I interviewed you because I kind of started the same way. So in
Okay.
2008, when the housing market, was when the housing
Crash.
market crashed, I owned a fitness company for children. I was a mobile
Oh,
fitness instructor for preschoolers, music and movement classes because I was an Olympic
wow.
competitive figure skater growing up. So that's what I owned. And then my husband had come to me and said, how's your business doing? And I was like, it's not doing good because everybody were
Right.
home. There was home daycares, which meant if parents were losing their job, they were pulling their kids, and the
Uh-huh.
daycares were taking away the extracurricular activities such as my program. So my husband at the time said to me, women sell their underwear online, and I'm like, no, they don't. And why are you looking at that? But then when he went to work, I was like, I wonder if they do. So Googled it. Sure enough, that's how that started, which led
Yep.
to custom video requests, which led to webcamming. Now since then, I still have the same customers that I had in 2000, and that I met on
Wow.
eBand like back in the day. But I do not do well on, and I need to learn this. Maybe I don't do well on a ChatterBait or a
Mhm.
My Free Cams. I do not do well sitting there in a room like this where there are 3,500 people in my
Right.
room and two of them are interacting with me and tipping. It pisses me
Token
off.
based. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know that if you block the free members, then that puts you at the bottom of the barrel because,
Right.
the more people in your room, the higher you go. And I've done the ChatterBait
Right.
thing. So I have my customers that, will come on Skype and they just book a one-on-one with me. I tried to sign up for, it was a studio with StreamMate. Okay. They,
Okay.
they kept telling me your ID does not match your name, your face or whatever, your name or whatever. And
That's
I was like,
weird.
that was like 3 times, and I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I don't have time for it. So,
Do you
um,
use Sky Private?
no, I don't use Skype Private. So yes, I was gonna like I'm sometimes people will ask me about that.
Yeah.
There was a platform that I absolutely loved. It was called, well, it's still out there, but it's not the same. Okay, it was called Cam Model Directory. And what happens
Oh,
is,
yes.
yes, so they would go there, find me, click on my Skype, come to me, to book a show because you can see
Gotcha.
this from there, and then they would pay through that platform. Best ever. Best ever. They changed the entire platform. They made you now install like a program onto your Skype program. So
Yeah.
now it's a mess. And now none of my customers can figure out how to pay. I can't figure out how to do it. And so now they just pay me
Yeah.
separately. I mean, and I told them you guys messed up by messing up with a good thing. Um, I've never done any shows on like OnlyFans or anything like that. Do you do those?
So I have done them on OnlyFans. I know some girls make bank
Oh
like
yeah.
thousands. I personally have not had that much success with my live shows on OnlyFans.
And then what about like, I mean, I know people go live on ManyVids and like even on Pornhub, or not Pornhub, what's the one I'm just signing up for right now, X Hamster and Fap House or whatever.
Right.
But
So
so
yeah, so Strip Chat is part of X Hamster. That's their live part, and that's
okay,
where we really got our start was Strip Chat. That's where we exploded and we were getting nominated for awards. And so yes,
okay,
but hear it again, token based, and you could
it is
have,
right. Yeah.
1,200 people out there and nobody's tipping.
And then can they take you to a private show on there too?
Yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
no nudity in the public or topless only or
You can do anything in the feed on Strip Chat. So
okay,
StreamMate, as far as I know, I think
teammates
it's
more
StreamMate and
strict.
I Am
Yeah.
Live. You can't get nude from the waist down.
Yeah, so there's like, and that's the other thing too. Like, again, maybe your listeners can tell us, like, give us feedback
Right.
because if I'm a man and I'm
Yep.
going to go to a strip club, I'm not going to go to a strip club in California where I have to be 6 inches away or 6 feet away from the model, from the dancer. I
Right.
can't touch her. If I'm going to watch, um, something on the internet, or I'm going to go to watch a webcam show, Chatterbait, everybody's giving it away for free right there in the
Right.
public. So,
Right.
and why would I go to StreamMate where I'm not going to get any of that? But maybe they want more class over there. I don't know. I don't know what everybody's looking for. So
Yeah.
help us out.
Yeah. So
Lord help me.
uh,
I don't know which one to do.
we run ePlay. We're VIP investors for ePlay, which is a token site and
Okay.
does not have the ability to do a private one-to-one.
Oh,
You can do a group show, like a ticket show,
okay. But you
but
can't do a private one-to-one. So,
no, and they are a sister platform to StreamMate. So we also stream on there, which is all private shows, group or private one-on-one. And
yeah.
so it kind of balances it out. It's like if you
Yeah,
want
it's really hard, and you talk about it
it
more
is.
because I'm sure your listeners are like, we don't care about webcamming, but
No,
it's interesting to
they
know
do
because
care.
some people, yeah, I mean, some people do very very well, like
Yeah.
you said on OnlyFans or webcamming. That's it's part of my income, and and I guess I would have to say it's probably my primary income for the most
Yeah.
part, But there's
That's why
days
I
like
wondered,
today.
like, how are you getting new customers
Just
for
have some
these?
people find me on Twitter or
Okay.
so I just get, fans will come to me and just say, hey, I found you
Okay.
on Twitter. Do you offer Skype shows or shows? But like today I only had one show so far. Did I have one?
Hmm.
Yeah. Today I only had one show, and that was, and this is somebody going back and forth with me. And then the other night I only had one,
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll only have one. Here's what they do, gentlemen. They wait until they know that I'm gone,
Listen up,
and then
boys.
listen here, right? They go, so it's like, I'll go to Mexico and then I'll post like on my social media heading to Mexico or whatever. And then I get, are you available for a show? Are you available for a show? And I'm like, why do you wait till I'm gone? So,
Right.
cause like I
Hit
didn't
them
get
among
anybody today,
people.
not one today, but I mean, I was uploading that stuff anyway. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
so
Well, we did get a similar start for sure. For sure.
sure. I know. Right. And then, yeah, and then so that was custom videos, which led to, um, I don't really know what made me take the step into the adult industry, to be honest with you. I
Yeah.
think I started modeling on Model Mayhem, and then somebody told me, I know what happened. Somebody told me to go on to Sexy Jobs to put my, for modeling.
Gotcha.
And on Sexy Jobs, because I have a degree, I have a degree in directing, I got
Hmm.
hired to work in LA on a porn set for a Japanese company in
Oh,
anime. It was like a parody on anime.
cool.
And so I remember that I worked on set. And so I was the one that would talk to like 101 models and all of them to hire
Yeah.
the girls in. And I remember that so many times the girls would show up not hair and makeup ready, or they didn't show, they were
Right.
late, or they didn't show up with their, and so the male talent one day, he looked at me and he just goes, his name was Jesh. I'll never forget it. He goes, Coralyn, how much did you pay her? And I go, you know how much I paid her? And he goes, and how much are you paying yourself? And I go, you know how much I'm getting paid? And he goes, I think you should be on that side of the camera. And I go,
Ah,
no. And then he go, maybe. And that's how it
yeah.
happened.
Maybe.
Well,
That's awesome. That is so awesome.
but I've definitely had some ups and downs in this industry. So now I do consulting and I help other performers not make the mistakes that I did, hopefully.
And that's where when I look at what do I want for my future,
Mhm.
because I want to look long-term goal. I would love to be a cam model coach. I think of Nikki Knight,
And you could be, yeah.
she's been a coach for so long. So I hope I get to that point
Yeah,
of
that
doing
definitely
this
would not
business.
be my specialty. So, but I teach people like, how do you check that the photographer's legit? How do you do the background
Yeah.
checks? What are the industry standard rates? What is the testing? How does that work?
Mhm.
More safety protocol. How do you be prepared? What do how do you find your niche? What makes you different?
Right. Right.
And I help men too, guys that want to get into the industry as well. So, or producers, people that want to produce content. I'm
That's
consulting with
awesome.
somebody right now, and then I also do the relationship consulting with couples.
You just segmented right into that. That was my next question on my list
Oh, I
was
know, it's crazy.
talk to me about your coaching and that kind of thing. How was that work and yeah.
So it came from in a nutshell, it came from the fact that when I wrote my book publisher came to some of my events, my lifestyle events,
Mhm.
and she would always pull me aside and say, "You spend half of your event as a hostess counseling somebody because someone's crying or someone's got this issue or somebody's,
Right.
and she says, you need to start telling people, listen, I'm hosting my event right now. I'm happy to set up a one-on-one, consultation with you
Yeah.
to be able to see if I can help you or if I can't help you to direct you into the right direction. And so she was right. I started to realize like, oh my God, I spent half my life counting. And then also like, when I'm home, getting other stuff, I'll getting texts, do you have a moment? Can I ask you a question? And so
Right.
that's when I started doing like, swinging 101. Like,
Yep.
you want to get into the swinging world? Why? What's your reasoning? What are the warning signs? All that kind of stuff. And then that led to not just teaching like the classes to my community, but then, offering one-on-one for either couples that are involved in the lifestyle or a single
Yep.
male coming in or a single female coming in or, the couple coming in together, so all different aspects to kind of go over the different reasons, why are you in
Yeah.
this? What's your reasoning for it? What are you looking to get out of it? What's your experience so far? Mistakes, stuff like that, warning signs.
Yeah. That's so
Not,
valuable.
it's very valuable. And I did it a lot because I remember that when my husband and I got into the swinger community,
Mhm.
at that time we found we got some. The reason it happened is somebody ordered a custom video from me. They said,
Oh.
"Will you do a video of you having sex with your husband?" And I said, "I don't think he will." And so I asked him, and he goes, "I will, but not be videoed by somebody we know." So we put an ad on Craigslist. And believe it or not, we met this couple for dinner on our 10-year wedding anniversary. We met them at a restaurant down at the same hotel where we got married. And then
Oh
we
my
went
gosh.
to film for our first time ever having people film us having sex. And we were
Yeah.
all so drunk because we were all so nervous that we passed out. And we woke up in the morning. We woke up in the morning and I woke up and I looked around and I went, we didn't do it, did we? Like we didn't even know if we had filmed it or not. So that's how we got into the lifestyle. And then we didn't know where to look, so we looked on Craigslist and we found like a website, and we didn't know any of the warning signs or what a hall pass meant
Right.
or who's supposed to give whose phone number, all these different rules. We had no clue, so we screwed
Right.
up.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I remember when, I mean, we've been in the swing lifestyle now 14-ish years, and I think you and I talked about it on your podcast. I
Yeah,
mean, there's so much processing when you go and have like this interaction. I mean, we would spend weeks processing what happened and how did you feel? How did I feel? And then you'd wake up in the middle of the night and be like, I forgot. I wanted to tell you this.
and that's what I tell people too. Is like sometimes when fantasy meets reality, the ultimate fantasy the one we always hear is they want another woman. They want to have that
Right.
threesome. So that's the illicit unicorn is what I call it because it's very difficult to find the illicit
Oh,
unicorn.
yes.
And a lot of times when a couple experiences that, especially if the woman is not bisexual or bi-curious or bi-comfortable or anything of the
Mhm.
sort, okay, now it's the man that has to not please one woman, but he has to please both. And I can't tell you how many men come to me and they say to me, this was not what I was hoping for. And I was like, yep, it's not, fantasy meets reality. It's not always, same with me. Like I always wanted a DP. Like I wanted not
Yeah.
in the porn industry, but like, just in like life. And I had it, with two people that I thought, I would feel comfortable with. And my gay best friend was there, and I'll never forget it. He was like, honey, are you having fun? And I go, no. And he goes, off of my best friend, off of her now, and it was like,
Well, just the circus act of trying to make that happen, because I've had that a few times myself, and it's like, okay, this is really not
really
comfortable.
not
Like,
comfortable.
this
Yeah.
is a
And then like,
circus act.
and one of the guys was very dominant. So, he was like, how do you like that? How do you like that in your mouth? And I was like, I can't talk to you because it's in my mouth. Like, stop, like, oh my God, it's awful. No. So the whole, so the thing is like, when you have to be able to be so comfortable with your partner to say,
Yes.
even in the middle, like I say there is nothing wrong with stopping in the middle of play. You
Right.
stop, you say, we truly apologize. I'm not feeling right. It's nothing against you. It's me. I need to go and with him
I've
and take
done
care of
that.
it.
I've done
Yeah,
that before, because, when you get into swinging and in the beginning, you want to try like every combination. You don't know what you like. And we
exactly.
really wanted to swing with couples, a same room, blah, blah, blah. And after just like forcing it and being disappointed and being pissed off at each other, like,
Yeah.
you didn't do that, finally we realized one day, couples don't work for us. Threesomes is where it's at. If it's two girls, focuses on him. Two guys, focuses on me.
There you
It's
go.
like,
And that's exactly what I tell people. It's trial and error in the swinger community, and it's
yeah,
also like you figure out, maybe you're just voyeurs. You just want to watch. Maybe you just want to be
Right.
watched. For me personally, I'm an exhibitionist. Okay. So when
Same.
I
That's how we got into it.
when I, yeah, when I was going through my divorce, we were involved in the lifestyle. So there was a club that we used to go to. So I volunteered to help at the door. Okay.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I'll never forget the owner used to say, they're doing the bukkake upstairs. Let's go watch it. We can help her fluff. And I went, ew, no, thank you. Like, no, I have no interest in that. But, he thought I was crazy. He was like, what? You don't want to watch? And I'm like, no, I don't, but,
Right.
um, but
That's so
you
funny.
learn what you like. You learn, I'm like, I want to be watched, but,
Right. Right.
I don't like to. I don't like to. I personally don't care to be the unicorn. I don't want to be the
Yeah.
third to a couple because I'm not really. I mean, I'm bi. I guess you could say I'm bisexual, but comfortable. But I have to really be attracted to the woman. I have to, and her personality. I don't care
Yeah.
if you're. I don't care how pretty a guy or a girl is. I swear to God, I do not do well with arrogance and
I'm
cocky and stuff.
I'm attracted to personality too because people
Big,
say,
huge.
does size matter? No, I'm actually not a size queen. I don't give a
Yeah.
crap. It's like, how
I
fun
don't
are
care either.
you? Are we gonna laugh at ourselves? Are we gonna have a good time?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think the best experience I ever had was I had a boyfriend who was not in the lifestyle. I brought him in. We dated for 3 years, just us before we, got to experience. And
Yeah.
we were on a cruise, on a swingers cruise, and we met a couple that was from like South Africa, and that's where I'm from, and that's where he was from. And so, he brought them to me, and they weren't the most attractive, but they were just super cool. We kind of had
Yeah.
those South African jokes to like laugh at and stuff. And I just remember that we went in. Now we're on a cruise, which is already small beds, anyways, right? And all four of us are on the bed. And I just remember that it didn't. We tried. Nobody could get hard. Nobody could stay hard. Nobody could finish. And we ended up eating like the little muffins. We went to the
Yeah.
kitchen at like 5 a.m. and got all breakfast and brought it in bed. It was just, but we laughed.
Oh my god.
We laughed, and we're still friends with them today. We still
Yeah.
write them. So
Yeah. And
that's what
that's
the
the
lifestyle's
thing.
about.
We don't participate in the swing lifestyle very much anymore because, of course, once we got into adult content, it's like, well, I want to film it, I want to make money off of it, and now I don't really have time because I'm off doing all these
Yeah, I
these
mean, I'm the
other
same way. I
things.
don't, and it's not that I don't go to other events. It's not that I don't
Mhm.
want to go to other events. It's
Right?
not, I really don't have time. I just don't have
Yeah.
time. I'm not even for New Year's Eve. I had the opportunity to go to Lake Tahoe or something like a free trip and
Mhm.
everything. I thought I was gonna go, but I was like, I can't go. I
Right.
don't have time. I cannot take that time off, especially because we've got AVNs coming up and then we've got the LA X3s coming up.
Right.
Where's the time? So my
Yeah.
my social life has gone, and people think I'm crazy. So if your listeners are going, when they write me and they go, can I take you to dinner? Can I get you a drink? It's like, I'm not trying to be a bitch. I don't have time to answer. Like, so I'm not trying to be a bitch, you guys. I just can't. Okay.
I totally feel you on that because once I got into the adult content creation and the camming, I
Yeah.
didn't have time for my vanilla friends. I mean, I love them dearly. They love me, but it's like I work every evening.
Yeah.
I can't just go to happy hour like at noon you text me. It's like, no, I'm doing shows all evening,
It's really hard for people to understand that, like that's why I don't date because I had a boyfriend and he would be like, can you get off your phone? And I'm like, listen, you don't understand. I'm not
That's
at an
your
8 to 5 job, okay?
yeah,
If I don't answer this message about this wedding or custom video or,
right?
question about the swingers event tomorrow, they're gonna go and find somebody else to do the custom video or hire somebody else to be their
Right.
wedding planner or whatever. So, you have to be on call and then with like friends and stuff, if a girlfriend says, can you grab lunch tomorrow and go grab, the winery? It's like, honey, I can't because I
I
don't
know.
know if I'm going to have a show or not. Because for me,
Right.
I'm in my house all day just in it, and it'll let me know if somebody wants to show. So
Well, I hope that your business just blows up in 2023, that you get to the
I hope
point
so.
that you don't have to rely on that. And I hope that for myself too, because I'm the same way as you. I get up at 6 a.m. I don't go to bed till like 10, 11. I have two phones I'm running. But
I've been up.
yeah,
I didn't go to sleep last. I've been up all night. I was up all night last night because
oh my
remember I
gosh.
was in Mexico for 2 days, so I had to play catch up.
Right.
But like you were asking, like where's my focus? So my focus would be my podcast and my
Okay.
coaching, and I love shooting content still. So I don't want to stop shooting content. So shooting content, give those platforms and stuff. My focus probably wouldn't be webcamming. My
Yeah.
focus probably wouldn't be swingers events. It's a lot of
Right.
work. Definitely
Yeah.
not weddings. Um, and writing, I enjoy writing, but there's not a lot of money in the writing. But I do enjoy writing.
Well, you
So
have to do something that's like near and dear to your heart. This
I love
podcast is
I
my
love
is
podcasting, and I love coaching. I love my coaching. I've got a couple that I'm working with in Greece right now, and then they
wow,
found me, and I've been working with them for a long time, and they're just amazing. And it's just like it's
that's
that
cool.
when I do my seminars and somebody says to me, you changed my life. I came last year, and I was a guest at your seminar. I was sitting at your seminar listening, and your advice helped me through my situation. That makes me go, okay,
That's
I know what I'm
awesome.
doing. Or the letters I get in the mail. That's the stuff that I like. So.
That's amazing. So, as we wind down, tell my viewers, our viewers, about your podcast because I felt so honored to be on your podcast and it was
I was
so
honored
fun.
to have you. My podcast is now called Embrace, hosted by Coralyn Jewel. And it used to be called, just in case anybody's wondering. So if you went and Googled Hanky Panky, Hankie, Hanky Panky podcast, that's what it was. And that was
Yeah,
also my swingers club, Hanky Panky Lifestyle. But we've had to do some rebranding and naming because apparently Hanky Panky underwear line thinks that we are infringing on their trademark, which we're not. We won't go in there. So but
right.
I really like Embrace because that's my
I do
message.
too.
That's my message. My message is embrace your sexuality, embrace who you are, live your life for you. And so that's my lifestyle events now, and that's my podcast. My website is embraceyoursexuality.net. And it's my podcast is available on everything: Spotify, Full Swap Radio, Apple iTunes, and I have a YouTube channel as well. So,
I d-
and we're going into
I
season
just did
2.
that this week, the distribution thing. So, yay.
There you go. There you
Yeah,
go.
and I'm going to link that when I post the podcast on YouTube and for distribution, I will put all your links on there too so they can find you.
Yes, be careful. Don't put so YouTube. So we were talking about how like on Twitter, what was it, TikTok, how you never know what your like violations are. So my producer on YouTube, when we first started, he didn't know that he couldn't put the link to an adult performer's like OnlyFans on the bottom there.
Oh,
Like
right.
yeah,
Yeah, no,
and
you can't
so
do
we
that.
got violations for that, even though it's just a link. Yeah, you can put Twitters, you can put Instagrams.
That's what I do. Yeah, definitely. So
I
every
tell you.
week I ask my guest for a granny panty tip of the week. So if you had one piece of advice that is really important to you that you like to give, what would that be?
Does it have to do with granny panties?
No, it can be anything. It could be a swinging piece of advice. It could be
My
content,
So
camming.
it's my message. So my piece of advice, and this is why I wrote my book, is that I grew up living my life to please everyone around me, and make sure that I was the straight A student and the top competitive figure skater and the best at this and that. And I wasn't happy. And so my
Right,
advice is don't be that I shoulda, woulda, coulda syndrome where you are 65 years old. Now you're divorced because you weren't happy in that marriage or that job, but you stayed there, right? Just live
right,
your life for you, be who you want to be because you only get one chance. You only get one chance at life. And I already feel like I'm halfway through and I really screwed it up. So I got a lot of making up to do. So
Well, but I have this saying that our past is who makes us today. So like for me, like
yeah,
I've made so many mistakes and chose the wrong men but if I hadn't went through all that, I don't think I'd be who I was today.
yeah. I mean, that's what I tell people. I say, there's a reason. There's a reason that I've sold underwear to lead to custom videos, to lead to
Right.
content, to go to swinging, to get a divorce, to dance at the club, to run the swing. All the I
Right.
say, life throws you a curveball, right? And
Yep.
when you catch it, if you don't know which direction to go, and you don't always choose the right direction, and Lord Almighty, I didn't. But I think that what it did is it gave me the opportunity to finally put it all in a book. So that was my
Yeah.
therapy, put it in a book, and then now I can help. I say that my curveballs brought me to my destiny, and my destiny is to help others not make the mistakes that I made. Okay,
That's
whether
awesome.
it's swinging or going into the adult industry or just relationships in general and stuff like that. So
Yeah. Yeah. That is so awesome. Well, I want to thank you for being on the podcast. This
thank
will
you for
come out
having me.
after we've already seen each other at AVN. I'm unfortunately can't go to XBiz LA, but
Are you coming to AVNs though?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so you'll be
We'll
there
be
for
there.
AVN. You're not coming to XBiz. Okay, I'm not going to
Yeah, I can't
XBiz,
do
but I'm going to
XBiz.
X3.
Yeah, X3 not doing that, but maybe I'll see you in Miami.
Won't I see you? Wait, won't I see you at AVN?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll see you at AVN.
yeah, I'll see you at AVN. So I'll see you next week.
Perfect. Thank you
I
so
will
much,
be there
Coralyn.
making content.